Number of texts, numbered 1 through 479. Do I take it there is no disagreement as to the date and time and content of each text?
That's correct.
Mr. Baez?
Correct, yes.
All right. The one submitted from the Commonwealth is entitled Text Messages Between Hernandez and Bradley, and then indicates a time range from March 28 through June 11, 2013. The submission from the defense has no heading other than March 2013. Now tell me where this 479 entry document comes from.
Your Honor, the document is a compilation of Exhibit 251, which is the extraction report of the BlackBerry Z10 that was received pursuant to search warrant following extensive litigation with the SJC, and a combination of what's been marked for identification, subject to admission later, of BBB, which is the full download of the iPhone belonging to Alexander Bradley. It's a compilation of those two phones, and I believe they're made.
The BlackBerry telephone, what number was assigned to that phone? Is that the 8106 number?
Yes. I believe the phone itself was given an identification, but the download of it that was testified to by Agent Kelsch is Exhibit 251. The phone is 250. What it was given the number.
What phone number was it?
606-8969.
All right. Is that a telephone number we've heard about in this trial? Mr. Sheehan, do you have the exhibits? Is that it, Ms. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor. The AT&T records at Exhibit 249.
I thought I just heard 251.
For the phone extraction, the AT&T phone records, 249E.
All right, this is a phone subscribed to by Cheyenne Jenkins. And do we have other phone records in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are they? 249, was it A through G? Could I have the exhibits, please? All right, now, as to Mr. Bradley's phone, have we heard any reference to that telephone number?
No, Your Honor, and as testified to by Mr. Bradley, he had difficulty remembering what phone numbers he used. He's changed numbers so many times. We did identify the number that he had in July of 2012, but he has authenticated all of the text messages as coming from one of the phones he used. He just doesn't have a particular memory of the phone number.
All right, and Mr. Baez, are you in any way challenging the fact that these are texts from a number that Mr. Bradley was using, if not associated with, or associated with.
No, sir.
Okay. All right, now the Commonwealth's list indicates the date and time of each call or each text, the number from which the text was sent, and the number to which the text was sent. The defendant's proposed list indicates the same date and time, and then indicates only party, one telephone number. And then with the quoted label lie, L-E-I or L-E-I-S. Mr. Byers, tell me where that comes from.
It comes from the contact list of that phone number that identifies those numbers that's been submitted into evidence. So if you...
So the contact number listed in telephone numbered 860-726-3749 is lie?
One is lie and the other one's lies. He had multiple phones and there are multiple phone entries for Mr. Bradley.
All right, as I understand it, take the first call, it's March 28, it's from Bradley to the defendant. So the from number is 726-3749, being Mr. Bradley's phone. Are you telling me that from an extraction report, the contact name in Mr. Bradley's phone for his phone number had the nickname Lie?
It's under Aaron's phone, yes.
All right.
He would be listed under lies.
So I take it the user of Aaron's phone designated that phone number, Bradley's phone number, as Lie.
One number is lie, the other one is lies.
Good. Is there any evidence, or there is none yet admitted, do we anticipate any evidence showing that Mr. Bradley had a nickname Lie or Lies?
There will be none.
Well, you don't plan to present me. Defendant.
As in terms of a nickname?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Any evidence that Mr. Bradley ever held himself out by that name?
No.
So it's whoever possessed the phone you attribute to Aaron, your client, who would have given it that designation.
Correct.
All right. In this form, I will not admit it. So we can go with the Commonwealth's submission. But of the 479 texts that are on here, how many of them are from Hernandez to Bradley?
All the ones that are in blue, Your Honor, I don't have the exact count off the top of my head.
We have an issue, Judge, and I think this just may not give you added argument. These text messages took place in a time where Mr. Bradley was being advised by counsel to elicit statements from Mr. Hernandez in reference to the Florida shooting. Mr. Hernandez was also had also retained counsel, including that of his agent, which were of course advising him not to respond to many of these messages. I think for the evidence to be completely admitted, it's necessary.
I'm sorry, what's necessary?
The tag or the contact name as lies. because the purpose of these text messages back and forth is Mr. Bradley attempting to extort money from Mr. Hernandez as a way of getting compensation for the alleged shooting for the shooting that he alleges involved Mr. Hernandez. I suspect that the court will hear testimony later on from both the agent, specifically from Mr. Hernandez's agent, that he, of course, was advising him at this time to not respond to many of these messages. And I think in the context of all of it, for its completeness, the court should consider the contact name or the contact number as lies, because they're coming in as what Mr. Hernandez takes as lies, and therefore the responses. I mean, it's somewhat misleading to be able to say, okay, they're exchanging text messages back and forth like it's nothing, but when both are being
I don't see what the relevance of the defendant being counseled by either an agent or an attorney, other than maybe that's why they told him give him that name so it will undermine whatever is texted.
No.
What's the other relevance?
The relevance is that many of the text messages go unresponded to.
Yeah.
And it's not,
Well,
I mean, a vast majority of them go unresponded to. And I think that that's important for the court to consider, along with the name of, or the...
but I don't see how that bears on the name, on the
They're all-
username that your client or whoever had that phone gave to the Bradley number. Gave to the Bradley number.
Well, you know, are we going to just parse out information that's not good for the state? I mean, that's the issue here. It's incomplete to admit these phone records, especially if you're admitting the contact names and the contact numbers, to say, okay, well, we don't like Bradley to be designated as lies or liar or anything like that. We just want the number. We just want to put his name and say this is this person and this is that person. It's an issue of being complete. These phone records are not a complete representation of the context of these conversations or how they're
All right.
or the motivation behind them.
Am I misunderstanding something? The Commonwealth is now seeking to admit these 479 text messages. I was told by you folks that both sides wanted 479 text messages admitted. Is that correct or incorrect, Mr. Baez?
We don't have an objection to the state admitting them. It's not something that we were going to admit.
So you don't object to the admission? And they are admitted, I take it, without objection because both sides deem that they are in some way relevant to something.
Correct.
And there is no objection to the completeness or authenticity of the record information with regard to date and time or with regard to the completeness of the text.
As long as they're submitted in its complete form.
And they are being offered, I take it, to prove that a particular text was sent by one party to the other party on a given date at a given time.
Again, they are different phones, but yes.
Okay. Then I will allow what the Commonwealth has offered with one change, and that is that the heading is to be changed. The heading is text messages between Hernandez and Bradley. As I look at them, if the Commonwealth tells me the blue printed texts are in fact from Mr. Hernandez or someone with the Hernandez phone, the black text being from Bradley, 80 to 90% of the 479 texts seem to me to be from Bradley to Hernandez. And therefore the heading is more properly text messages between Bradley and Hernandez, Bradley being the principal sender. So I'm going to order that that heading be changed. You may introduce this now, subject to changing the cover page, as I've ordered. Mr. Byers, to the extent you want your submission marked for identification and made part of the record, we can do so. But I will not permit the username that was attributed to the Bradley phone to be listed here. Also, the list is incomplete, not telling us whether that's the sender or the receiver, and not indicating the second telephone number that was party to that call. All right, let's bring our jurors down.
Which is ID.
You had the chance to read this prior to testifying today, a series of what is purportedly text messages.
Yes.
And is it fair to state from reading that, the full 48 pages, you recognize these as text messages between you and the defendant, Mr. Hernandez, between March 28, 2013 and June 11, 2013?
Yes.
And as to whether or not this is a complete series of texts between you and Mr. Hernandez, is it fair to state this document does not contain any texts that you may have sent each other prior to March 28, 2013?
Correct.
Your Honor, for the document of text messages between Mr. Bradley and Mr. Hernandez, 48 pages is the next number exhibit.
Exhibit 294.
Other than the additions that we wanted, we had no objections.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Bradley, I want to call your attention to the first series of text messages contained on Exhibit 294. The first being a timestamp of 28, 2013 at approximately 10:26 a.m. The number 860-726-3749, do you recognize that as a number that you used at some point?
Yes.
And the number 203-606-8969, I believe you previously testified that was a number you remembered belonging to the defendant, Aaron Hernandez.
Correct.
And can you read the text that you first sent on this Exhibit 294?
Yo, the crazy part about all this is that you did that bullshit for no reason to me. And being the real friend I was to you, I didn't try to ruin you even after you tried to kill me.
Keep reading, please.
Think about how real that is. So I was a real friend at the end of the day, and the tears should be in my eyes after the way you betrayed me. I never crossed you no way, and the only reason you even got to rock me is because we were so 100. I never thought you'd be the one to shoot me, and that's real talk.
And did you receive a text message in response from Aaron Hernandez's phone?
Yes.
What did his say?
Said, I love you and you're not going to frame me for some bread. And thanks for the info. He'll be getting reached out to. Always will love you because you were my brother and you know that, but I hope the best for you.
And what did he say in the next text?
He was correcting the one prior to that. He said, thanks for the info, I meant to say.
What was your response, Mr. Bradley, on that same day at 10:35 a.m.?
I would never try to frame you. You left me with one eye and a lot of head trauma. You owe for what you did, and it's too bad you don't know me enough to know that this convo was private between us. It ain't for no lawyer or no cop to see. We both know what happened. The truth is the truth.
Keep reading, please.
If I dealt with the police, my boy, it would have been over and done with. That's what's crazy about the situation. We know each other so well, and you know I ain't on no BS. You too paranoid. That's what's made you do this shit. You did.
Let me stop you there. What did you mean by you're too paranoid? That's what made you do the S you did.
He hit a point where he was just paranoid of everybody. He thought everybody was the police, or, you know, his level of paranoia was so high.
And what do you say in the next text, sir?
And last but not least, I always wanted the best for you. Remember that. You obviously didn't feel the same.
And did Mr. Hernandez respond that same day? Or I'm not sorry, did you get a response from Mr. Hernandez's phone that same day on March 28th, 2000? The next text, sir, is what that you received from Mr. Hernandez's telephone?
I'll always be there for you till the day you die, but not in the state of mind you're in and been in, and I don't know what's gotten into you after all these years. We were inseparable, but everything aside, you're always on my mind, and I love you and always will, no homo.
What was your response, sir?
What's crazy is, I believe the part is true. You probably do think about how real of a nigga I am and how you even flipped on me, but what sickens me is the fact that you're denying this shit like it's for lawyers or cops. You must not really know me, but I guess I didn't know you either, because I would have never thought you'd try to end me. But hey, I'm gonna be the same nigga till the day I die too. You picked the right nigga to do that to, because the average man would have dealt with them people.
When you say them people, what people were you talking about?
Police.
And did you have any intention of going to the police at this point?
No.
Can you read the next text here, sir?
Yeah, my lawyer called me and said he hasn't been contacted by anyone. It's my last chance to reach out to you and resolve this situation. Are you going to contact him by Friday? If not, I'm going to move forward with litigations.
Continue to read, please.
Trying to resolve this quietly for your sake, but word to my kids, my last try to get through you.
Continue to read.
Well, I tried my best, but if you don't care to resolve this the way I'm offering you, then it is what it is. Yo, it ain't a day that go by that I can't believe you did that to your boy.
What were you
I
referring?
object and ask if the witness is going to read them to read them in completion. They're not being read completely.
All right, sir, if you're asked to read a particular text, if you read the entirety of whatever the text message is.
I believe I did.
Okay. Mr. Hagan.
The last one here on 411, that last text, sir.
Yo, it ain't a day that go by that I can't believe you did that to your boy.
What were you referring to?
Shooting me.
Calling attention now to April 11, 2013, at 4:49 p.m. Did you send another text to the phone of Mr. Hernandez?
Yeah, but I see you at the Heat game, Vegas, back-to-back mobbing with your boys. But I know that shit ain't the same without me. Be easy. My G1.
And what does that mean?
Just enjoy what you're doing.
What did you mean by see you at the Heat game, Vegas, back?
Objection, Judge. Again, the witness is not reading them in complete.
I'll see you at sidebar.
The person I fucked with and was like a brother to me, but damn, you trying to sue me for something I didn't even do, or something I didn't do and don't even know about. If you could win that, then God is on your side, but I doubt something can be proved that isn't true.
Your response, text, sir, the same date, April 11, 2013.
Here
Can you
you
read
go.
the next three?
Here you go threatening again. You know that don't scare me though. If you knew how G'd up I am, you wouldn't even say that. But I'm for real, I ain't threatening you, but hey, since you say that you know what you gotta do if you don't want your life ruined, and oh, if you think them wolves ain't on deck, then try what you gotta try. But I bet 2-1 on the money, you won't get far. Choppers, Mac 11, Mac 90s, you know I'm in the street. Oh, and I did get 4 bulletproof vests, etc. Spent my 30 G's, 30,000, and since we know so much, I seen Cheyenne's mom, New Unionville home, then knew where yours was. But like I said, them threats don't move me. I was being for real paranoid Holmes.
Who are you calling Paranoid Holmes?
Mr. Hernandez.
What are you referring to up above that, referencing Max and bulletproof vests?
I just bought a bunch of guns.
And that's what you're referencing to let Mr. Hernandez know?
Yes.
And you're doing that to threaten him?
No, it wasn't really a threat. I mean, I was just letting him know. where I stood.
And the next two texts from you, sir?
Well, I read the next one after already. I already read the Unionville home.
Or this one?
Yeah. Oh, almost forgot. The right niggas that use the weaponry, and last but not least, that's how I know you don't know where I be, because I don't be at either of my baby mother's house. One move, and oh, that's a repeat of the same text that I just
Same
read.
text.
And the
Next
oth-
text, the same date, sir. Go ahead.
And the other one, G like me, never scared. You know you did it, and since you tried to end me, I will end you if you don't do what you gotta do.
Continue to read, please.
Oh, and you think I can't prove that, but remember the town of Bristol and who you told and who knows about.
I believe the next one's a repeat, sir. Can you go
Repeat.
to the response from the phone of Aaron Hernandez, the defendant?
Laughing my ass off, you have no clue. Just know at the end of the day, I will always love you no matter what happens. But I know you know deep down I am not paranoid, nor am I scared, and never have been. And if you do kill me, like you said, I still don't care, but I doubt it. I don't even want to kill you, never have, but keep going with all these lies and trying to bring me down as good as I treated you if you want to. Good luck.
Your response, sir?
If you haven't learned by now that I don't show these to police or lawyers, then you're crazy, and everything I got, hold 42 or better. Do what you gotta do, homie. LOL from Hernandez.
And for those who may not know, what does LOL mean?
Laugh out loud, I think.
What is your response at 5:30?
What makes you think I want to kill you and you're the one who tried to kill me? And I promise you, you'll pay for that. And you are so boxed in, if you do something, you'll be number one suspect because of who you told. And I promise on my kids, not one thing I said is a lie. Try me if you remember, I just got paid $28,000 April 5th from my hand money. I'm back out and you didn't pick a good location. Cameras in that alley where you thought you killed me. If that's what you call treating me good.
Now, when you say cameras in that alley where you thought you killed me, where were you referring to?
In Florida.
The place where you were shot when you
Yeah.
felt pushed out of the car?
Yep.
And your next text, sir, can you read that?
I don't need these texts. Two, ain't no suing, it's a settlement, because you don't want to see this go to civil trial, because then you lose it all. But tell you what, your time is running.
Continue to read, please.
And do you have trustworthy niggas like me around you? Doubt it, dog. Well, we 6 strong with a lot of weaponry, so hey, you turned this combo into this. I was just missing you.
And the response to Mr. Hernandez's phone is what, sir?
I miss you every day because you know you were my brother, and I had no friends, but I was raised by the best and I got myself. Wink, wink.
Do you have any idea what the wink wink?
No, not really.
And can you read your text in response?
Niggas from the warehouse that found me told the ER and the dispatch, y'all bounced in a white SUV. What did we go to Tootsie's in a white SUV? 1 + 1 is 2, and I hope we...
Let me stop you there. What were you referring to in those text messages to the defendant?
I'm not really sure. I think I was trying to tell him that he just didn't do a good job because he left behind evidence when he shot me.
So when you're saying the N-word from the warehouse, you're talking about what warehouse?
The warehouse where I was shot at in Florida.
And when you say told the ER dispatch you all bounced in a white SUV, what are you referring to?
The SUV that they left in.
So you just, and the reference to Tootsie's is the reference to what?
That's the cabaret club. That's the strip club.
You continue to read the next series of texts, sir.
Yeah, the 2 best. Your real dad, who I heard was a G, and me, who you know is a real nigga, and I put wink, wink, wink back.
Can you tell us what you meant by a real N like that?
Cause I just had so much dirt on him, like this matter right here, and I never,
This matter here, the double homicide?
yeah, double homicide and him shooting me in Florida, and I just never gave him up for nothing. Like I never went to the police about nothing he did, and I had no plans to. I was never going to.
And in your mind, again, back then, was that what you meant by being real? Was keeping that to yourself?
Yeah, I meant that I'm being real by not, telling on him, so he should just handle this the way I wanted to handle it.
Can you read the next series of texts, please?
Now you fall into that trap if you like. We'll be waiting. It hurts me to even talk to you this way for real, but hey, it is what it is.
And the response from Mr. Hernandez's phone was what?
I swear to God, even you're trying to ruin my life and kill me when all I did was be there for you. I still love you, and no homo, I will always love you.
What was your response?
Listen, you're no dummy. If you were smart, you know I ain't trying to ruin you. If that was the case, I would have told on you. I'm so G, plus I love you so much that I chose to handle it this way, which means I still do love you, but you tried to take me away from my kids and my life away. You owe for that, double A.
Now, you end that text with AA. What did you mean by that?
I was making a reference to this double homicide.
And were you trying to let him know that you were referencing the double homicide?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to let him know. He knew I was referencing the double homicide.
And that's why you put AA?
That's why I put double A.
Can you read the next text, please?
Now, if it ain't gonna be this way, say fuck it, you ain't getting shit from me, and I file a civil suit, you'll lose it all, and we hold court in the streets. And you think I'm scared to die, then think how you pulled out and I still ran up on you. I could have ran. Do you really think I'm scared or care on my kids? I'm so prepared, and I spent my last on ratchets. I can't even pay my goons. They just got what you claim you had for me, love. And you treated me good. You treated me good. What? Niggas wanted me to try to line you up, and I never agreed. Niggas wanted to get at you, and get at you. I never agreed, dog. I just didn't have the bread you have, but... Am I reading the same thing again? But I treated you good. Never stole, lied. When your boys you were with said he wanted to invest in me, I told...
Objection, Judge.
Wait.
Read it completely, if you would, sir.
Starting at you good?
You good, never stole, lied. When Pouncey's your boys you were with said they wanted to invest in me, I told them ask Chico. Branch trying to chill with me, get my number, never did. It was not...
Let me stop you there. What is that a reference to, sir?
It's just a reference to other, like friends of his that used to try to hang out with me.
Who are the Pounceys?
Some friends of his from Florida.
And Branch, who is that?
Another friend of his.
If you can read the next text, please, sir.
It was a time when you couldn't do nothing for me. Remember, I was giving you credit and loans and MIA after your offy ass beam and then was using you. MIA, I loaned you money. Lost my girl behind my love for you, remember?
Let me stop you there. What are you referring to when you're talking about giving him credit and loans after something?
I used to give him credit for weed all the time, like before he got drafted. He didn't have much money before he got drafted. And I loaned him money before in Miami when he went broke down there.
And what was the reference to Beam and him losing money, or you loaning him money and losing your girl?
The part I'm talking about with my girl was, I wound up getting into it with my girl over hanging out with him so much. She didn't like, I wasn't around as much. So she was like, if you want to hang with your boy, but this is not going to work out with us.
Mr. Bradley, was there something that you're aware of that happened during the defendant's rookie year with his friend Beam and some money?
With Beam particularly? No, I just know he wound up running real low on money his rookie year, and I know those were the friends that were hanging around him.
Did you help him when he ran low?
No, not particularly. I loaned him money in Miami, but I didn't help him with his financial affairs.
Can you read the next two texts, sir?
But you're trying to put on for your Florida boys who don't know a thing about you and who don't love you like me. And I brought you around people who I knew longer than you who wanted to do you dirty. And I don't mean Chubb and June, and I never was. And niggas knew they would have had to kill me first. I just hope you ain't too much of a tough guy to feel, I don't know who you think you became, what rapper or whoever, but that shit wasn't cool. You can act like you don't hear me, but as your ex-brother who knows, you feel me. And you have a lot of people to kill, because everyone who I really fuck with know about the adventures of Sherrod and Chico. So whatever you feel like doing, go ahead. My 6 homies, baby mother, mother's aunts, a lot of people. And here you go threatening again. You know that don't scare me though. If you know, I think that's a text I already read before. If you knew how G'd up I am, you wouldn't even say that. But I'm for real, I ain't threatening you. But hey, since you say I'm imagining. If you really love me, handle this shit like a man and compensate me for what you did, or keep ignoring me. Your choice.
All right, that's the end of April 11th.
Yes.
And why don't we stop there for today? Members of the jury, that's as far as we'll go for you folks today.